The morning sun peeked through the blinds of Emma Carter's small apartment in Brooklyn. She sat on the edge of her bed, shoulders slumped, staring at the floor. The bills stacked on the kitchen counter, the unread job rejection emails, and the lingering silence from her ex-boyfriend all weighed heavily on her. For weeks, she'd felt like she was walking through fog, unclear, uninspired, and undeniably stuck. Emma had always believed in hard work, but lately, nothing seemed to click. Despite her degree in graphic design and a strong portfolio, the freelance jobs had dried up and full-time roles were impossible to land. The city, once exciting and full of energy, now felt cold and distant. She had started to question everything: her talent, her choices, even her worth. But this morning, something unusual happened as she scrolled through her phone. Half out of habit, she stumbled on a quote shared by an old college friend: "Change your thoughts, and you change your world." Norman Vincent Peale stared at it. Simple, maybe even cliché, but something about it struck her deeply. That afternoon, instead of scrolling endlessly or worrying about things she couldn't control, Emma tried something new. She wrote down 3 positive things about her life. I am healthy and strong. I have the skills and creativity to make a difference. Every day is a new chance. It felt awkward at first. She didn't believe it completely, but she did it again the next day and the next. Slowly, this small act began to change her. Emma started waking up earlier. She made her bed, not because she had to, but because it made her feel organized. She walked to a nearby cafe and brought her sketchpad. She drew ideas not for a client, but for herself. Her creativity, once buried under self-doubt, began to re-emerge. At the cafe, she struck up a conversation with the barista Maya, who asked about her sketching. Turns out, Maya's cousin was launching a new wellness brand and needed a designer for the website and packaging. Emma didn't get excited, not right away, but she followed up, just to see to her surprise, the cousin loved Emma's work. "You really understand calming design," she said. Emma smiled for the first time in days. She had never described her style that way, but it felt right. The project wasn't huge, but it paid well and gave her momentum. More importantly, it reminded her she was still capable, still talented. Positive thinking didn't solve all her problems overnight. The bills were still there, and the job hunt wasn't magically easy, but Emma's mindset had shifted. She didn't wake up dreading the day anymore. She woke up wondering what small opportunity might come her way and what she could create, even if nothing did. Her confidence grew. She signed up for a local design meet and even offered to mentor new grads online. One of her mentees referred her to a small startup in Manchester, UK, looking for remote design help. Another project, another door opened. Emma's life didn't become perfect, but it became brighter, fuller. She saw setbacks as lessons rather than failures. Instead of replaying what went wrong, she focused on what could go right. The power of positive thinking, she realized, wasn't about ignoring the hard stuff. It was about refusing to let it define her, and in that, Emma discovered something powerful. Her mind was her greatest ally, if only she learned how to use it. 3 months later, Emma Carter walked through the doors of a co-working space in downtown Brooklyn. Laptop in hand, smile on her face. It wasn't just another Monday. It was the first day she would officially be leading her own design studio. The name on the door read Brightside Design Co., a name born not only from her love of clean, vibrant visuals, but from the mindset. That changed her life. It all started with those small morning affirmations, then a freelance job, and then another. Now, Emma had 4 steady clients across the US, UK, and Canada, and 2 part-time designers working under her as she set up her workspace and opened her laptop. She took a moment to reflect. She thought back to the version of herself who sat in a dark apartment with no energy and no hope. That Emma didn't disappear overnight. she was slowly rewritten by the Emma who chose gratitude, resilience, and optimism over and over. Even when it was hard, just last week, she had a conversation with her younger cousin, Lily, who was struggling in college. Lily was overwhelmed by pressure and filled with negative self-talk, the kind Emma knew too well. She had sat with her on a park bench, listening quietly. Then she'd said, "It's okay to feel stuck. Just don't build a home in that feeling. One thought, one good thought, can be a spark. Let it grow." That was the ripple effect. Emma's own shift in mindset had quietly begun to spread. She was mentoring more students now, some from Canada, some from the UK, all navigating their own creative paths. Her story became a source of encouragement in ways she never expected, but it wasn't always smooth sailing. A month ago, one of her biggest clients suddenly cut their budget and ended their contract. The old Emma would have panicked. But this time, she let herself breathe. She reminded herself of her strengths and focused on what she could control. She crafted a thoughtful email to past clients, letting them know she had availability for new projects. Within a week, she had 2 new leads, one from Toronto, another from Glasgow. Her calm, focused response had worked better than fear ever could. Positive thinking, Emma now believed, was like a garden. It required daily attention, small habits that nourished your inner world. Some days, it was journaling. Others, it was stepping outside for a walk, listening to a motivational podcast, or simply saying, "I can handle this." When things felt uncertain, she also started hosting a free monthly online workshop called Design and Mindset, where she taught young creatives not only how to improve their portfolios, but how to manage the emotional ups and downs of freelancing. The response was overwhelming. Dozens of people logged in each month from New York, London, Vancouver, and beyond. Emma didn't claim to have it all figured out. But she knew this. Positive thinking wasn't a trick or a mask. It was a practice, one that made life not just bearable but meaningful. One day, during a quiet moment in the cafe where it had all begun, Maya the barista handed her a coffee with a sticky note attached. "Thanks for always being so kind. Your energy is contagious." Emma held the note in her hand, smiling. She realized something powerful. The energy she chose to bring into the world had begun to return to her in ways she never imagined, from a moment of despair to a life of purpose. All because she chose to believe that a better version of life was possible, and every day she made the same choice again.